Alrighty, I finished watching Saturday Night Live from last night because DirecTV is not allowed to show Channel 5 here in Utah because the church won't let them unless they pay the extortion demands of the church to pay more money to the church in order to show Channel 5, in order to get SNL. So yeah, that extortion deal is still going on, and so I have to go to YouTube the next morning to watch SNL. And found out that as I was going through other YouTube topics to search to find out what's going on in the world, I found what I'll have on the screen, and I'm not sure whether I'm gonna show this video or if I'll convert it into an audio and place it over the picture. I don't think it'll do much good to do it over the picture, but anyway, there's on the far left of that picture, whether I'm showing it to you currently with my voiceover or if I show it to you at the beginning and then show you this video, on the far left is the cause of Christians with Jolene Wynn. And the reason why it caught my attention, as you could see from the video, it says Travis Wayne Goodsell viewers also watch, and then recommended videos for me. Now I can understand Thinker of Thoughts, because Thinker of Thoughts is also critical of the church, and he does quality video work. He doesn't understand fully the issues of Mormons. He isn't as smart as I am in the Mormon church, but he does know corruption when he sees it. And so, yeah, he's able to do a lot of videos exposing church corruption. And then Mormon channel. So, yeah, I'm apparently getting Mormons, and Mormons are going, oh, Mormon channel. They got their opium fix of pure Mormon. Karl Marx, guys. Religion is the opiate of the masses. And this is why, when you have religious organizations that refuse to listen to criticism, and they indoctrinate themselves constantly, weekly, going to church, so that they can get inoculated with the brainwashing techniques of the organization, of the religion. That's what Marx was doing, was saying that religion is just an opiate. It has the same effects. People go to church to get their fix, and they go home for a week, and then they go back to church because they need their fix again, because the world is so corrupt. So church becomes a drug for people. And that's clearly what's going on here, as my viewers are escaping to the Mormon channel. Travis is destroying the church. And so I can understand Christy Smith, because I referenced one of her videos when I did a video. It's not doing too well. So apparently these viewers are just a random selection rather than a dominant selection. And so yeah, there are some people going to this guy who clearly is not a long-time member, not born and raised, most likely a convert. I haven't watched any of his other videos, but he's now a Christian preacher, pastor person, and his criticism of the church is based on his religious views, which I keep telling you guys, I don't do that. I am Mormon. I am critical of Mormons. I could do one on Christians, I could do one on Jews, I could do one on Muslims, Hindus, whatever, but I'd have to speak in their manner of understanding. People don't understand that. My viewers are Mormon influence. That's my target audience, are Mormons. So I use Mormon scriptures, Mormon prophets quotes. I am Mormon born and raised, so I know what irks them. And so, yes, I am the Mormon church's worst nightmare. Someone who has been born and raised in their church and who comes out saying, hey, wait a minute, this ain't right. So, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, so I was kind of curious about this cause of Christians, because clearly somebody came to my videos and has viewed my videos, but then went to her. And kind of curious because I've never referenced her, and she's not the Mormon channel. So this is somebody else who typed in something else and came across mine, but also hers apparently. So I'm curious to what this video is about. It's only 4 minutes long, and I've already talked longer than her video. And so this is how to be Mormon and proud of it. And I'm missing part 1 of the election on the season 2 of Newsroom. So the sacrifices I make to save Mormons from Mormonism. So I'm going to listen to it and find out what it is with you guys joining along with me. She's going to convert you, Travis. Don't do it. It's a trap. Okay. Guys, don't worry. I have testimony that the church is not true. Testimony. Facts, knowledge, evidence. You can't tell a person, you can't gaslight such a person. It doesn't work. And so the only people who can get converted to another religion are those who really don't have a testimony of their own or realize, hey, wait a minute, no, my church is wrong. Those are the only people who have to worry. Mormons don't get that. They think, oh, I can't listen to Travis. He's going to convert me away from Mormonism. Yes, because you don't have a testimony in the church. You are not secure in your faith. You can get up at the pulpits in church and say that you have knowledge and testimony of this, that, and the other thing, but you're lying. Alrighty. So, okay, this is interesting because she's apparently Mormon, but her hairstyle, it's not Mormon standards. Definitely not mission standards either. There's no way they would allow her on a mission with that haircut. They'd have her go home and have the hair grow out before she's allowed back in the Mormon mission. And at BYU, sorry, you can't come to school until you grow your hair out. Sorry, Mormons, this is the Mormon standards. I just did the video this morning about how Mormon standards are laws of hate. So, yeah, right away, I'm seeing there's a problem here, and maybe this is a satire. Maybe that's what this is. So maybe this is going to be cool. We'll see, Jolene. But right off the bat, there's red flags. If she's actually Mormon, and she's saying how to be Mormon and proud of it, sorry, but you are apparently unaware that you are violating church standards with your hair. And so if you haven't, I need to remind myself because I'll forget. Okay, got that. Post link. Alright. If I exit out of this, I won't be able to recover it. So, episode 1, How to Be Mormon and Proud of It. I should be able to find it with this. Alright. So, yeah, if you don't go to the link that I'll try to remember to put in, she's got her hair normal long slightly wave curls, dirty blonde, but then shaved. Sinead O'Connor shaved on the side here. Now in the world society, no big deal. Everybody does it. Everybody has their own style and unique stuff. I grew up in Southern California during the 80s, in Flock of Seagulls. So yeah, when I talked about how Mia Love was, not listening to me, her constituent, back when she was still in Congress, somebody commented or replied to my comment, which was on another person's site. They tried to support me by criticizing Mia Love's hairstyle. And so I had to get on there and say, I was born in the 80s and lots of people had different hairstyles and we don't judge that way. So it's okay to criticize the church, but not be abusive in your criticism. So this is what I'm trying to point out here, is if she is a Mormon girl, and she's talking about being a Mormon and being proud of it, she apparently missed the For Strength of the Youth booklet where her hairstyle is inappropriate for the church. Just letting her know. Just letting you know, Jolene. So, I don't care. That's fine. Star Trek has, I'm not sure if she has her hair done that way because of the injury she sustained, but one of the pilots of the ship, navigators, she has the metal thing on her face because of the wound she took in the earlier episode, and so I like her in that episode, but she doesn't get as much attention as some of the other characters are getting. I'm hoping that they'll come back to her and do more with her. But anyway. And then I'm noticing her clothing. This has to be a satire, because what she's doing is she's got her dress and it's sort of tucked up so that her white slip is showing. No, okay, so this has got to be satire. So this could actually be cool. So, yeah, because Mormon, no, this is a fashion faux pas, not just for Mormons, but in the world's fashion style. And again, if you haven't watched my videos, I would have been a fashion designer for women's clothing had my parents not been so homophobic and traditional minded in their direction for me. And I could have been a fashion designer because they wanted me to be an architect instead. And so, yeah, and that's a whole DOS program stuff that you have to watch the video. Okay, so here we go.
Okay, so episode number 1 was actually a topic that was submitted by a teenager. And it is, how do we be Mormon and proud of it. And I totally understand. Being Mormon or a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sometimes makes you stand out in ways that you aren't really familiar with or comfortable with. And so I want to offer you guys a few ideas of how...
She's now being serious. This concerns me now, because a faux pas in clothing fashion, exposing her underslip, unless it's a white temple dress that she wore a dress over the temple dress. Jolene, what are you doing?
How you can make it more comfortable, and that starts with really being aware of what it is you're supposed to be proud of. We are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and it's all about Him. It is all about Jesus Christ.
Oh.
He is the point, and He is the reason. So stop focusing on the things that don't revolve around Him. If you try and focus on being...
Okay. So here Jolene is trying to push her values on Mormons. Naughty, naughty, Jolene. The church does not allow this. You have to conform to the will of the prophets. And it looks like she's got a ring. It doesn't quite look like a wedding ring. It's more like a band with some decorative thing on it.
Being proud of being a representative of Jesus Christ. He's going to help you do that, and it's a lot easier to be proud of Him than it is to be proud of all the little things that make us a little bit different. And as a follower of Jesus Christ, that makes us part of a huge global Christian community. A lot of times we really focus on the things that make us...
No, Jolene. No, no, no. See, again, Mormons think they're Christian because they have Jesus Christ in their name. They have Jesus Christ in the storyline in the Book of Mormon. Comes to the Americas, say, hey, I'm a physical being separate from Heavenly Father and the Holy Ghost. We're not a Trinity, as Christians claim we are. And touch my wounds. Yeah, Mormons are not Christian. So, Jolene, understand that. Mormons don't get that. And what their Mormons are trying to do is trying to become Christian. And Mormons don't realize you've got to give up the Book of Mormon. You've got to give up your nature and character of God, of Jesus Christ. You've got to conform to the Trinity God. You've got to conform to no Book of Mormon. You've got to conform to no temple. No Heavenly Mother. That's what it means to be Christian, Mormons. Jolene.
Different. That we can't drink, or that we don't smoke, or that we don't sleep together before we get married. And all...
Where is that in the commandments, Jolene? Find it for me. You can't find it. It's not there. She starts off with the word of wisdom, goes to the law of chastity. Law of chastity is nowhere in Scripture. We can sleep with somebody before we're married. It's just not a good idea. Because she will break your heart and trash it on the floor. I'm not speaking from experience. I've only had sex with my wives. Not at the same time. They both divorced me, so I moved on.
All these little things that make us seem so different and so weird. But if you focus on the fact that we are Christians...
So now she's trying to say the word of wisdom, chastity, that makes Mormons weird. No, Jolene, that's not the weird part. The weird part is having a belief in a physical, separate being, God. That's the weird part. That's where Christians are so furious of us for being blasphemous about the Trinity God.
And we believe in Jesus Christ, that makes us part of a huge community and makes it so all of a sudden...
No, Jolene, it's not a huge community. Utah was settled by Mormons. So yes, it's dominantly Mormon because nobody else comes here. The highest percentage of other ethnic groups than white Mormon are Hispanic, and it's about 14 or 17%. I think it's more like 14%, but I'd have to check again. Blacks in Utah, 1.4%. 1.4%. They're the lowest amount of other ethnic groups in Utah. 1.4%. So, yeah, the church loves blacks. We gave them the priesthood in 1978.
You're not so alone anymore.
You're not alone.
Our similar beliefs.
Even though right now you're on your own. I gotta put that as the theme song. She doesn't realize that's where it comes from. Oh man, I'm missing out on the show.
Beliefs connect us to those around us. And sometimes that can be the only thing that you need to remember is that you are not
She's got other
as
rings.
alone as you think you are. And I totally get it. I was part.
But what the song is trying to indicate, Jolene, is that it's not about being a part of a community of other Mormon peers. It's talking about Jesus Christ is with you always. Mormonism is not to be a social club. That's not what it's about. It doesn't matter if people come up with these cool little analogies. Oh, if you get sticks together and you bind them together, you can't break it. So if we get the majority of Mormons together, you can't prove that we're wrong. Doesn't work that way, Mormons.
I grew up on the East Coast, and there were not very many members of our church.
Okay, now we understand why her hairstyle is no, 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 no. So, yeah. Mormons outside of Utah are not like Utah Mormons, who are alt-right conservative, white supremacist. So, Jolene, you're trying to impose your apostate anti-Utah Mormon views on Mormons. You're like that Travis guy who I had to run to the Mormon channel to flee from.
And so sometimes I really did feel very alone, even though I had my family members and I had a few friends that went to high school with me that were.
I'm alone too, Jolene. Nobody loves me in Utah. I'm so mean to them, pointing out they're mean. Again, Mormonism is not to be a social club. It's not to be a place where you get together with other people who share your hatred, bigotry, sexism, racism, xenophobia, etc., etc., etc. That doesn't make you right. Understand this, Jolene.
Members of the church, most of my friends were not. So I get it. Sometimes you can just look around and think.
See, she's outside of Utah, so her friends, like my friends, were not Mormon. See, my friends were stoners. My friends were preppy rapists. My friends were drug dealers. My friends were drinkers and rapists. And so, yeah, I don't really consider them friends, obviously, but that's who I grew up with. Those were my peers. I learned the horrors of what is now the Trump administration, the neocons, the Tea Party, etc., etc.
Nobody gets it. Nobody understands how hard this is. I get it. I understand. And you know who else does? Jesus Christ. He understands. He knows how hard it is to stand out and be different. He started his own church.
Ooh, good for you.
And created it from nothing.
Yeah.
He knows how hard it is to...
He also went against his church leaders to form his known church, Jolene. He went against his church leaders because his church leaders were corrupt.
Be alone. And
You're not
that can be crucial. Another idea is that obtaining...
She's got notes in front of her. I don't have notes. I have to write down notes so I remember to put links in.
Or strengthening your testimony of Jesus Christ.
No. False doctrine. False doctrine alert. I can't do an alarm. You don't strengthen a testimony. You strengthen faith, but you don't strengthen a testimony. Mormons, you don't understand this, do you? And yet it's crept in. Everybody's saying it, even those outside of Utah. You don't strengthen testimony. You either have it or you don't. Just like Yoda says in The Empire Strikes Back, try not, do or do not. There is no try. You either have a testimony or you don't. And you have to have a testimony of each and every little single minute detail, precept. You can't just have an overarching testimony. No, it doesn't work like that. Every single precept you have to have a testimony of. And you either have it or you don't. You can't strengthen the testimony. Once a tree is grown, you don't strengthen it anymore. When it's growing from a seed, you have to strengthen it. Do you understand, Mormons? Don't throw around this false doctrine. Because that's Christian doctrine. And you don't want to be Christian, do you? Do you?
That's going to help you be proud of him. Obviously.
You're not supposed to have pride.
If you already have a testimony of Jesus Christ, great. But what you need to...
You're not getting it. You cannot have a testimony of Jesus Christ unless you have seen him in the flesh. Like the Book of Mormon story about how he appears in the flesh. They touch his wounds. They hear him speak. He has children sit on his lap. Now you have a testimony of Jesus Christ. Mormons, you do not understand this. Jolene, you do not understand this.
To do is strengthen it, because there will be times in your life where you feel like that's not enough.
No! And then she throws in feelings. No, Jolene. No.
Have already built your foundation, all of a sudden may seem a little bit weak. You need to constantly build up your testimony of Jesus Christ.
No! You're talking faith. The foundation is faith. The finished product is testimony. Mormons, do not alter definitions to support your feelings. It doesn't work that way. Shame on you, Jolene.
So that you can fall back on that, if nothing else. He is the most important.
If you have a faulty foundation, building your house on sand, you can't fall back on it. You have to build a new foundation go to a different church, different God, one that's true, based on a foundation of a rock, not sand. Christians build their house on sand. Mormons build their house on sand. You have to find the true God on a rock.
Important thing in our church, in our gospel. He is the reason that we do everything that we do. And another thing is that if you don't have a testimony of Jesus Christ, maybe you have testimonies of other things in the gospel, or maybe you don't have a testimony at all, and that is okay. But
No, it's not okay. The whole point of saying, hey, I want to be baptized in the church, is saying, I want to do it. I want to get these testimonies. It's not about a social club. I want to belong. I want to have feelings. No, it's about obtaining testimonies. And you got it right there. If you don't have a testimony of Jesus, maybe you have testimonies of other things. But then she blew it.
Encourage you to build your testimony of Jesus Christ. It's going to take some effort and it's going to take some dedication, but you can do it, and He will help you. Learn more about Him. Grow your testimony of Him, and when you really come to know Him as He is, that will help you be proud to represent Him in your life by the way you live. And that is how you can be Mormon and proud of it, because it's really not about being Mormon at all. Really, it's about being a Christian. Really, it's about being part of God's church on this earth right now. It's been restored, and it's all about
social
Jesus
group.
Christ. So don't forget Him.
That was painful. See, when you know the truth, as I know the truth, because I have all those little testimonies, it's painful to listen to someone who claims they have testimonies, but in reality, as you learned, she doesn't. She has all those faiths. She hasn't done anything with them to produce a testimony of anything. And so it's painful for a guy like me who has knowledge of truth to listen to somebody put forth as knowledge of truth of their opinions, their beliefs, their feelings. It's painful, guys. You don't understand. We have a society in the United States that believes whatever you want to believe, that's okay. We'll affirm your beliefs. We'll agree to disagree. Anything for as truth goes. And so then you get people who are corrupt, who are wicked, who are evil, saying, you can't judge me. I let you have your beliefs. You let me have mine. Corrupt people who want to commit crimes, who want to abuse and destroy other people's rights. You know, freedom of speech. No, we don't have freedom of speech. You are not allowed to spew hatred. It's that simple. It's a crime to spew hatred. Why? Because you are violating the rights of others. You are silencing people, denying them their free speech when you are spewing hatred. You can't do that. That's a crime. So, Mormons, cut it out. Jolene. I need to relax now and go to the Mormon channel. No, newsroom. It's part 1 is almost over.